Woo! Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here again. You know, it might sound funny and it might sound strange, but the truth of the matter is that it is what it is. And I find myself here again today doing what I've been doing for years. And that's crying out to you to allow you to know that some out here witness the American public and human beings at large as being asleep, actually missing out on life, not allowing life to be expressed through them, but following the dictates of someone else that finds them above where you are. And where you are, there's pain and suffering. Where they are, there is an elimination of that. So for me, something is wrong with that. And it seems that since I spent so much time seeking answers, it appears that all around me are answers. For instance, we talk about God. We base our understanding, many of us, especially here in the Western communities, 6,000 years. Some of us believe that the earth was built and everything started 6,000 years ago, when there are other people who have evidence, who have records, who got the receipts of over 25 or 30,000 years prior. And we just as confused as possibly can be, except that those who say it was 6,000 years, to them it was 6,000 years. What those who said many more, it was many more. And really, it is what it is. And it probably is neither of those. But what the people believe is what they respond to. And for me, I find dissatisfaction. And I don't think it's just me, because I see wars going on in the world. I see pain and suffering, crime and violence. You know, they say in the story about Jesus and Christianity that God had angels in heaven. This supposedly, I think, existed before humans were created. And we hear that there was one there named Lucifer. They said he was most beautiful. Now, that tells me right there that that's man talking. Most beautiful. What the heck does that mean? Most beautiful. I mean, what makes a diamond more beautiful than any rock in the street? I mean, seriously, what makes it more beautiful? What you have been given about it, what it says. That's all. You can make a rock much more precious than any diamond. You say, well, no, because there's so many rocks out there and only one or two diamonds. Yeah, but you know what? They say to me, I don't know if it's true or not, that at one time in a certain country, you used to could purchase stuff, but something happened in that society that stuff got so expensive that you could take all you could get to just buy things that just a little used to would get. But if they hadn't changed that policy, if they hadn't changed that standard, people would have been trying to get all the rocks that was out there. And those rocks, as many as it would take, would have been precious, more precious than anything. That might not make too much sense, but that's okay. That's what I'm going to say to you is not going to make too much sense. They say that Lucifer was beautiful. Again, as I indicated before, this is man interjecting man's interpretation of his own actions in that of a divine action. And so, what they also said is that Lucifer decided that he was not satisfied with things being the way they were, that he could do better. And I'm saying he because that's the way the story went. I don't really know if it was he or not. That he could do better. And he started running his mouth like I do sometimes. The only difference is I don't think I can do better. I'm just sharing you some information that I got from somewhere else. This guy said he could do better. And he started, according to the story, going out across the country, going across heaven, running his mouth, got a few people to believe that, a few angels or whatever they were to believe that. Now, what does that remind you of? That reminds you of exactly, especially those of us over here in the West who don't really know what happened in Russia, who don't really know what happened in those dictatorial countries. But we see right here before our eyes just what they say Lucifer was doing in heaven is exactly what Donald Trump is doing in America. He's walking around deceiving people, got other folks believing those deceptions, lying to people and telling you that those are lies, but they are not really lies because he's determined that they are not lies. And he can do that because he has all the power. He has the power above the United States. He has the power of the people of this country. He got the power above people who've given their lives, fought in wars to maintain at least a certain kind of standard, people who've given their lives to even establish some civil rights for people who were denied the kind of rights that he himself is trying to deny people once again. And he just wants to walk around and doesn't mean anything. Just like you would think Lucifer was doing in heaven. Now, the story says Lucifer and his group got kicked out of heaven. But we got the same thing happening here in America. And the challenge to us is what are we going to do? Are we going to kick that stuff out of America? Or are we going to do like Russia? Are we going to do like North Korea? Are we going to do like those other countries that have given in? Are we going to give in and be ruled by not Lucifer now? You got a new name, Satan, but not even Satan. Now in America has a new name, Trump. Or if you don't want to say Trump, you can say Mega. Or if you don't want to say Mega, you can say those behind Project 2025. You can say that. And when you say those behind Project 2025, that includes Mega. That includes Trump. That includes all of those others who needs to be kicked out of a place where peace and prosperity is desired. Now, you ask yourself about this evil one or this one that says he can do it better than God. And you look at having control what humankind have produced all around us. And we aren't satisfied, but we act like here again, we don't know what to do. Some advocated that we try God, that we try one that says that everybody is important. Before Lucifer got arrogant, before Lucifer wanted to take over, there was peace and freedom. So it existed before, and it can exist again. But it requires that we don't do the things that causes. We don't lie, we don't cheat, we don't steal, we don't hate. And why do we don't do those things? It's because we don't have to. See, this is what we recognize. This is what we recognize. We recognize that we are on earth. Look at me right here, ladies and gentlemen. The camera might pick up some of this stuff, but I'm here. But I know that this bench I'm sitting on, mankind might have made this bench. But this ground that this bench is sitting on, mankind didn't make that. That comes from a power that's unseen. So it seems to me that one of the greatest things for me as a human being on the face of it is to recognize that there's a power that is unseen that the power that you see cannot match. And so that it is telling us, telling me, that if I'm going to give any allegiance to any power, I give it to the power that I can't see, not to my neighbor, not to my mama. I got certain power that I get to them, share with them, love and respect. But the man down the street ain't got no power over me. The only power that he has is what we have communicated together and accepted, communicated together and accepted. That's a decision that is being made. That is what we, the people, have been given. So you got the world that you live in, or you got the world that you desire. Now, if you practice those basic principles, well, how do you understand what those basic principles are that would get you there? Well, just like you've given recognition to the power that you can't see as being the author of the earth, meaning man ain't got no power over that. Now you know that the next rule, it seems, since you recognize that, is that you exist. You exist, and all human beings, one way or another, look like you to one degree, made up like you, common, whatever, like you. So, what human being could be superior to you? No human being can be superior to you, except the lie that's been fed to you about Lucifer, that's been fed to you by some crazy rogue angel who wants to say he's superior and fool those people. Just like Trump was walking around here trying to fool Americans that he's superior. But no man is superior over another man. That's why they say, do unto others as you'd have others do unto you. That's how you're supposed to guide yourself in society. You know what's pleasing to you. You know what causes pain and suffering. So you represent, stand for those things that's pleasing. Always stand for those things that's pleasing. And never stand and give representation for anything that's suffering, that's causes suffering, whether it's for you or anybody else. Suffering is not allowed. This is teaching you how to have government, or how to have association between one another. Treat it as if everything is you. And when you do that, you'll learn how to participate in the creative process of producing or causing a manifestation of in the goods, in that reservoir of goods and services that you, the people, have determined are absolutely essential for you to be fulfilled and satisfied in this life. That would allow you to have peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and happiness and live your dreams, your needs, your wants, and your desires being met. Never having to suffer for food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, or anything that's made by the hands of man, because you have discovered and accepted the secret of life. That there's a power outside of you that is responsible for all existence. And if you want to be working in hand with that power that's outside of you, that's responsible for all existence, you treat yourself and everybody else just like it's you. You ain't gonna be hurting yourself. You're not gonna take a match and stick it to yourself. Don't take a match and stick it to anybody else. You're not gonna drop a bomb on yourself. Don't drop a bomb on anybody else. Plain and simple. You want to love, then love. You got it, ladies and gentlemen. I just told you the secret of life. Now I'm gonna close up. You can do what you want to do, but I've given it to you. Now let's see what you're gonna do with it, okay? Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus. Say goodbye for now.